Here, I made you both some iced tea for my secret family recipe. Hope you like it. Ew! This is awful. It tastes like water with a little bit of iced tea in it. It's so weak. I guess you like yours. That was delicious. It was really strong tasting. There was so much powdered mix in there that, look, there's even some left on the bottom. It didn't even all dissolve. The concentration of a solution is how much solute there is in a certain volume of solvent. It's how strong it is. Concentrated is a very strong solution. Dilute is a weaker solution. A dilute solution does not have much solute in there. However, a concentrated solution has more solute dissolved in there. This Gizmo simulation will help us explore concentration. We can set potassium nitrate at 20 degrees Celsius. Every time I add a gram of potassium nitrate, it dissolves. There's now 3 grams added and none at the bottom. It's all dissolving. Now I've put in 10 grams. We can figure out the concentration of this solution. We added 10 grams of potassium nitrate in the water and it dissolved. So, to find the concentration, we're putting a solid in a liquid. So we want this formula. Remember to write your formula first. Concentration equals the mass of dissolved solute divided by the volume of the solvent times 100. We put in 10 grams in 100 milliliters of water times 100. That equals 10 grams per 100 milliliters of water. We can add more powder and make it a more concentrated solution. Here's 20 grams dissolved into water, and all of it dissolves. None is at the bottom. Let's figure out the new concentration. Use the same formula, mass of dissolved solute divided by volume of solvent times 100. But this time there's 20 grams in 100 milliliters of water. Multiply by 100, and the concentration is 20 grams per 100 milliliters. Back to the iced tea, we can see the one on the left is more concentrated. It has maybe 20 grams of powder. The one on the right is more dilute, maybe only 10 grams of powder in 100 milliliters of water. There is a maximum amount of solute that can be dissolved in a solvent. The maximum concentration is called its solubility. That means no more solute can dissolve in there. That's why there's leftover powdered mix at the bottom of the water in iced tea. We can observe this by adding a lot of potassium nitrate into the beaker of water, and at some point you will see that there's leftover powder at the bottom. Not all of it has dissolved. We put in 35 grams, but there's 4.35 at the bottom. Now the solution is said to be saturated. We can find its solubility, which is the maximum amount of solute dissolved in the 100 milliliters of water. We were able to put in 30.65 grams of solute because we put in 35 grams and 4.35 grams sank to the bottom. So we subtract and get 30.65 grams was the maximum amount. Now we need our formula for solubility. Maximum dissolved solute divided by volume of solvent times 100. We put in 30.65 grams in 100 milliliters of water. The solubility works out to be 30.65 grams per 100 milliliters. What that means is when adding solute, once you reach 30.65 grams, any more you put in will sink to the bottom. Now that the solution is saturated, if I add even just 1 more gram, you can see that 1 gram sinks to the bottom. If I add 10 more grams, those 10 grams will sink right to the bottom. If I add 20 more grams, they will sink right to the bottom. This liquid is saturated. It cannot absorb any more solute.